Energy Airforce, aimStrike, Let's Play, Update 1. Thank you, title cards, for spoiling the entire flyyables list. Okay, the Apache is not flyable. In fact, we might never run into one at all. I stick to the PAL mode because the other option makes the screen go tits up on my actual PS2, and it's the only game to do so. Here is some useless trivia. This music was also used in the main menu of the first Energy Airforce. Oh yeah, I have to name us. In the meantime, you can see that aimStrike has a lot of videos. It definitely explains how this game manages to take up most of a single-layer DVD. Good enough. Saving every step of the way. At least the save isn't too large and it's over quickly. Right, before we go on the mission, I'll take a brief look at the options. For one, I'll get very surprised that there is an automatic landing option, which takes half the thrill out of carrier-based missions. And I'll also make sure that the massive ugly radar and map screens are turned off, because this game has perfectly functional cockpits. Now, story time.
Fundamentalists have taken control of a small country, giving birth to a military dictatorship. They've poured money into their military and are now starting events from the capital of Errata. Their vast air superiority quickly overcame the loyalists, and they now control the nation's skies. And now, they've begun a move against a peaceful neighbor to the south. Your job is to prevent the success of this invasion. Follow your orders carefully and carry out your mission objectives. That's all. Best of luck out there.
Fundamentalists taking control of a region? Silly video game from 2003, as if that would ever happen. Again.
Let's go over the details of your mission.
I'm listening.
We've identified a force of enemy aircraft in the vicinity of the base at Sithar.
What do they call the people from Sithar?
You'll fly combat air patrol in the sector north of the base to put pressure on the enemy force. Gargoyle, you're flying cap at the target point. Engage and destroy any enemy aircraft you encounter in the sector. Unicorn will fly cap in the sector west of the base. Your launch time is 11:30 hours. That's all, and good hunting.
Well then, let's pick a plane for the mission. After the loading screen. I'll start cutting them out eventually. Unless I think of something deeply informative to say, like right now. There isn't much of a choice at the moment. Ignore the glitchy shadow, that's the emulator. You know, the model looks surprisingly pretty for the PS2. The trick to pulling this off on this hardware is very short drawing distances. There isn't much I'd like to do with the loadout, besides drawing your attention to the fact that it can be as asymmetric as you like. No thanks. I'll just pick something with a little more range to it. That'll do. Back out and you can see the selected loadout without an overlay. This is my wingman, and hey look, I can make him repeat my loadout with one button. And this game was released the same year the Strike Fighter series started. The game calls the plane we are flying simply an F-16. More precisely, it is an F-16C Block 30. At least I think it's Block 30, the loadout options are a bit messed up for that variant. Energy Airforce is sure taking its time.
Taxi runway 26. Check altimeter. Hold short of runway.
Gargoyle, clear to taxi.
Wait. Holy crap, I have legs. And look at them move! Awesome. Right, we are not at the runway. We have to taxi there. So let's get this jet-powered tricycle started. Excellent. Now I'm going to summon the magic powers of the emulation to point at things, when I find the mouse. These, or similarly placed badges, show the throttle position. This is the throttle percentage, it goes from 70 to 103. Oh, and there is speed in miles per hour and altitude in feet, because we're back in the 19th century apparently. Also, in the bottom right corner of the HUD there is F for flaps and G for gear, sometimes it flashes B for speed brakes. You can actually skip the whole taxiing routine by pressing select.
Unicorn flight, we show you at waypoint 1.
Driver, get up on 1 concur.
But why would you skip the risk of instant failure through crashing into a sign or the chance of breaking the gear by speeding on the dirt? This game offers all that, and more. The brake is toggled by holding both rudder buttons, meaning you can't steer and brake at the same time. Marvelous. Why am I so late for this takeoff? Yep, still asymmetric. Can we go now?
Tower, Gargoyle 1 and 2 for takeoff.
Gargoyle, cleared for Sierra Hotel departure. Climb and maintain Angels 3. Switch departure 297.6.
Gargoyle, clear for takeoff.
Okay. So... fine, I'll go. I think I broke the script a little. 2 will start rolling first if you stop behind him. Oh well. Looking good. 2 is not stuck, he should be fine taking off on his own.
Starburst, Gargoyle flight now airborne and with you. Gargoyle Starburst, picture is clean at this time. Copy, Starburst.
Gargoyle 2 does all the talking for our flight. This thing in the navigation mode shows the distance to the next waypoint. But I would not trust the fat waypoint dot on the HUD, most of them are set too low. That's our radar screen, it's off for now, but it will change when I pick a radar-guided missile. It's no longer pointing at our crotch like it did in the F-16A. That's reassuring.
Okay, we're at the first waypoint. Gargoyle flight, we show you at waypoint 1. Target is at bearing 210. Gargoyle, no new picture at this time. Conditions are as fragged. Gargoyle 2. Master arm is safe until we see something. Roger.
Get used to the master caution sign and the warning siren. It comes up every time the wing is nearing the critical angle of attack, so in most turns. The plane is still fly-by-wire, so I don't know why the system panics so much. Oh, yeah. Even a perfectly balanced plane is never stable in this series. You randomly gently roll, and with the vibration on, the controller will bump regularly, perhaps to simulate updrafts. It gives the game a bit of a desert bus feel when you need to fly in a straight line.
Unicorn flight, we show you at waypoint 2.
Uniform 1, roger. Carlos, Uniform 1. Heading west now to Cap Station. Check in if you see anything interesting.
Stay sharp, guys.
Note the green round display on the instrument panel on the left. That is mostly our radar warning receiver. I say mostly because it also detects the facing of aircraft, shows the exact position of incoming missiles, and indicates our primary targets. You'll see it in action shortly.
Gargoyle 1, you are overdue at waypoint. Expedite, please.
Ah, bugger. Eyes on the top of the screen. Time on station. Estimated arrival time. The current time. We are late. And off course. Generally, not being on time is harmless, but it might break the scripted radio chatter, so I'll try to stick to the schedule.
Gargoyle flight, we show you at waypoint 2. Target is at bearing 195. Gargoyle flight recommends spool up of weapons systems at next waypoint. Wilco.
Yes, weapons. Today I'll be using the AIM-120B AMRAAM, which looks like the Sparrow and acts like the Phoenix. That is, it's a missile that uses its own tiny radar to home in on its target, but travels long distance blind, using inertial guidance. That can backfire massively if the target decides to, say, change course.
Unicorn flight, we show you at waypoint 3.
Uniform is on station and cabin.
Roger.
So an AMRAAM can be sent target course updates from the launching plane if the pilot maintains the radar lock on the target. It is not a feature in this game. The AIM-120s here are perfectly capable fire-and-forget missiles. We're coming close to the video break and the shit-hitting-the-fan part of the mission.
Gargoyle flight, we show you at waypoint 3. Target is at bearing 165. Gargoyle, commence cap at next waypoint. Wilco. Master arm on. Going to single track mode.
Robert, contact. 195, 22 miles. 57, clear.
Unicorn, your group, ref BRAA 195, 22 miles, 11,000. Fishbed, hostile. You are weapons free.